let's go to Washington, and our correspondent Gary O'Donoghue joins me there. That sense of excitement and indeed history, how does it feel?
Well, it feels pretty empty, to be honest. I mean, if you take a look behind me here, this would normally be absolutely thronging with people, wouldn't it? From the Capitol, several hundred yards down that way, all the way to the Washington Monument, and there's no one here. It's just us, really. And what they've put in place instead is these beautiful displays of flags, 200,000 of them along the National Mall, to reflect and represent the people that should be here and who aren't here for those sort of two huge overarching reasons that we've seen in the last few months. The pandemic, of course, and the need to keep people apart, but also the extraordinary security situation that we've got here in Washington with, you know, just 2 weeks ago today, the storming, the attempted storming of Congress behind me, and that attempted insurrection by those mobs who left 5 people dead in their wake. So it is unprecedented. It feels very, very strange. The wind is blowing right down the Mall. It's freezing, and there's no one here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm excited, and we'll be gearing it up a bit later on, won't we, Gary? But for now, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you very much. That's Gary O'Donoghue there in Washington. Well, let's talk to Larry Madawa, who's on the streets of Washington. What's the mood there?
The mood is of anticipation. We're about 2.5 hours away from the inauguration. This is on the east end, about a mile away from the east end of the Capitol, where this is close to a section that's been set aside in case the demonstrators, they're allowed to have their First Amendment rights there, but not close enough to the perimeter. There's a non-scalable fence that's going all around the United States Capitol. It's gotten wider and wider as we've gone closer to this day. There are 25,000 troops on the streets of the U.S. Capitol, 25,000 armed National Guardsmen. I'm going to step out of the shot right now to show you what's happening here. This far out, you see the National Guard, you see U.S. Customs and Border Police, you see the Washington Metropolitan Police, there is a U.S. Capitol Police. Every arm of law enforcement is involved in this operation, which involves so many troops, more soldiers on the streets of Washington than there are deployed in Afghanistan and Iraq combined. This is based off the events of January 6th, when there was an attempt to storm the Capitol, and they actually did storm the Capitol. And there's been a security arrangement and fear that there might be armed protesters coming back into Washington, D.C. to disrupt the inauguration of Joe Biden. And so they have put in this extra security arrangement, the largest ever. When you compare the average sizes of the 2 Obama inaugurations, the Trump inauguration, even the George W. Bush, Clinton inauguration, they've never had this many troops on the streets of the U.S. Capitol.
Larry, thank you very much for that. So that's what's happening right now in Washington, D.C. That ceremony fully underway just before 5 o'clock our time. And of course, we'll have full coverage from 3 o'clock this afternoon here on BBC News.